Recent poll numbers have National and ACT sitting comfortably as New Zealand's next government. So it's no wonder there are questions about what the two parties' negotiations are going to look like.
ACT leader David Seymour says his preference is a coalition deal, but he is also now floating the idea of a confidence-only deal with Christopher Luxon's team. You may have heard of confidence in supply agreements within government. That's what the Green Party had in 2017 with Labour. So what does David Seymour mean by this? What does confidence only mean, and how does it differ from confidence in supply for people who aren't that au fait with these political terms?
Sometimes parties make an agreement they call confidence and supply, which basically says that the parties will vote together if there's a vote of confidence, i.e. if a vote is called in Parliament that there's no confidence in the Prime Minister and we've got to have a new election. So it's really important to pass a confidence vote. But then there's also a vote on supply, and that is a supply of money, the right to tax people and spend their money. And that is the other really important thing that happens. Now, what we're saying is we'd absolutely give confidence. We want to see a change of government. We want to see Chris Luxon and the National Party in government with us. We want to see Chris as Prime Minister. That's all fine. But when it comes to supply, actually there's a lot of people voting ACT who want something a little bit different. They want to see an end to the amount of government waste. They want to see less spending. And what we're saying is, well back, we give you confidence, but when it comes to supply, we want to negotiate each time to make sure that the people who voted for us who want less waste aren't being taken for granted. And we want to make sure that we're part of the deal about, how much money gets spent, how much tax, rather than just coming in at the end of it. We want the National Party leader to be Prime Minister. We think that that'd be better than what we have now by a considerable margin. But that's not enough. This time is different from other times when it was enough to get National in to basically consolidate Labour's policies and manage them a bit better. This country needs a real change. And that's why we're saying, look, MMP's changing. It's the system we've got, whether we like it or not. So how do we use it to make sure that we get better policy? And that means a party like ACT saying, well back, we want the change of government, we want to work with you, but we also want to trust but verify and say these policies of spending too much money, taxing too much, we want a bit more say on that. It's about making sure that all voices are represented. So if you give your party vote to ACT, you're getting a say and you're getting some value out of your vote too. ACT would argue that if we're going to have a better future in this country, it won't be enough to just carry on doing the same thing, but, wear a blue tie on Monday. We're going to have to make the change real. And that's where we say, look, actually, Chris is going to have to think twice about some of those commitments to keep Labour Party policies. I'd prefer a tight relationship with the Nats, sitting around the table, implementing an agreed plan to turn this country around. But it seems what you're hearing is when they say get New Zealand back on track, they mean basically carry on the same way but with different people in charge. And I don't think that that's going to cut it.